everyone, welcome to the course on Odisha Geography for OPSC Civil Service Examination by Subraranjan IAS. In this course, we will be studying the geography of Odisha and every aspect of it required for the Civil Service Examination by Odisha Public Service Commission in detail for next 8 to 9 classes. So, first let's see what the syllabus tells us to study. Okay. So this is a cutout of the syllabus provided by OPSC. So here we can see that the syllabus tells us that we have to study about geography of India, but with special reference to the state of Odisha. Okay, so we'll be studying the physical, economic and social geography of India with special reference to Odisha. So in this course, we won't be studying about India as much as we are going to study about Odisha geography. Okay. So we will be studying about various geophysical phenomena which affect Odisha, such as the cyclones, rainfalls, etc. And two specifically mentioned points are there about Odisha's geography, which include the physiography of Odisha, its riverine system, and the natural resources, which include water, forests, and minerals. So we will be focusing more on these 5 different topics. Okay. So I hope you all have understood the syllabus. Let's move ahead and start the topic without further ado. So here we can see the map of India. Okay, this is India and this is the northern plains. These parts include the Himalayas and the eastern hills, Purbanchal hills. This is the Thar desert and this whole part is peninsular India. So this state, that is the state of Odisha, will be to the east of the peninsula, right? We know the top part is north, the bottom is south, the right side is east and the left side is west. So Odisha is to the east of the peninsular India. You can even say that Odisha is to the east of India. That won't be wrong also. So now let's dive into the map of Odisha in detail. So this is a map of the state of Odisha, specifically its political map. Okay, so here we can see the districts of Odisha, that is the 30 districts that the state of Odisha has as of now, that is March 2024. Let's just see the name of every district for once, and you need to somewhat remember the districts and focus more on the district that you live in. This will be come in handy in your interview segment. Okay, that is, you have to go into detail about if you have any important temples or any mountains or lakes, etc. in your district, you have to know about it. Okay, that will be important for your interview, but for prelims and mains, that won't be necessary because they won't be knowing which district you belong to, and the question will be same for everyone. So for prelims and mains, don't worry about this, but for interview you should focus more on your district in case of geography. Okay, well, actually not just geography but for history perspective, like temples, that will come under art and architecture, some regional traditions. For that you have to focus on your district. That will be done later for interview. That will be not part of this course. Okay, so let's see the districts of Odisha. Starting from the south, we have the district of Malkanagiri, then Koraput, Nabrangpur, Kalahandi, Rayagada, Gajpati, Nuapada, Bargad, Balangir, Kandhamal, Ganjam, Nayagad, बौद्ध, सुबर्णपुर, झारसुगुड़ा, संबलपुर, अनुगुल, ढेंकानाल, कटक, खोर्धा, पुरी, जगतसिंहपुर, केंद्रापड़ा, भद्रक, जाजपुर, बालेश्वर, मयूरभंज, केंदुझर, देवगढ़, सुंदरगढ़. I think we have seen all of those. Yes. So let's erase this. One point you should note here, that there are some marks in each district. So these are the district headquarters, and almost every district has the same named town as the district headquarters, except a few, such as Kalahandi, whose district headquarters is at Bhavanipatna. Similarly, Kandhamal, its district headquarters is Fulbani. And there was one more, I think. Let's look for that. Yes, Gajapati has Parlakemandi as its district headquarters. and rest you can see that Sundargarh as its district headquarter, Puri has Puri, Jagat Singhpur district has Jagat Singhpur town, Kendrapada has Kendrapada town, Mayurbhanj this has Baripada town as headquarter. This will be the different one. So 1 2 3 4, okay, 4 districts. Similarly you can see every district and their headquarters. This won't be that much necessary, but just for your general knowledge, okay, they might ask something in the OSSC or OSSC exams. So remember that if you are giving those exams. Now let's dive into the further detailing of Odisha's specific location. Okay, so we'll see that this is the easternmost part of Odisha. So I'll draw the northeast, north, south, east, west directions so that you can refer here. Okay, so this point is the easternmost point of the state of Odisha, while this point is the northernmost. This point is the westernmost as well as the southernmost. Okay, so the easternmost point is in Balasore district, the northernmost point is in Mayurbhanj district, and the southern and westernmost points are in Malkangiri district. Okay, so what is the west to east and south to north extent of Odisha? That is, this place is located on which latitude and this on which latitude. Similarly, this and this on which longitude. Okay, so the northernmost point is on 22 degree 34 minute north latitude. Similarly, the southernmost point is on 17 degree 49 minute north latitude. So I hope you understand that this is more and this is less, because the value of latitude increases from equator up till pole. So this part is closer to equator and this is farther away. So that's why here it increases from south to north. Okay, and this extent is about 500 kilometer long. Okay, this also you should remember. They might ask you in OSSC or OSSC exams, and might even in, like, if the question is that easy, they might even ask for civil service examinations. Okay, similarly, the easternmost point of the state of Odisha is at 87 degree 29 minute east longitude. I hope you all know the difference between latitude and longitude. And the westernmost point is 81 degree 27 minute east longitude. And what is the distance between these two longitudes? This will be nearly 1030 kilometers. Okay, almost the double of north-south extent. That will be easier for you to remember. You can remember it like that. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now that we have seen the extent, there is one more minor fact about the state of Odisha that you should remember, is that its total area is about 1,55,707 kilometers square, which is roughly equal to 4.74% of India's total area. Okay, again, this is not that important for civil service examination, but for other examinations conducted by the state government. Okay, now let's move ahead and see what other states surround the state of Odisha. Okay, as we can see here, to the east of Odisha we have the Bay of Bengal. So the eastern side of Odisha is along the coastline. Okay, then to the northeast we have the state of West Bengal. To the north we have the state of Jharkhand. In the west and southwest we have the state of Chhattisgarh, and towards the south we have the state of Andhra Pradesh. So we will learn few details about each of these borders. I hope you can make out from this map itself that the state of Chhattisgarh has the largest border with Odisha. Okay, and there are 8 districts, which are Malkangiri, Koraput, Nabrangpur, Nuapada, Bargarh, Jharsuguda and Sundargarh district that form the border between Chhattisgarh and Odisha. Okay, and again from the map I hope you can see that the border of West Bengal is the smallest one. Okay, the smallest border, only 2 districts, which are Baleswar and Mayurbhanj districts. Okay, so the next is Andhra Pradesh. This is the second largest. This is the second largest border, and the bordering districts include Malkangiri, Koraput, Raigada, Gajpati, and Ganjam. Okay. Similarly, the only remaining spot will go to Jharkhand, the third longest. Okay, and with the districts of Sundargarh, Kendujar, and Mayurbhanj. So let's count how many districts are on the border areas. Okay, so we saw that Chhattisgarh has 8 districts, Andhra Pradesh has 5 districts, Jharkhand has 3 districts, and West Bengal has 2 districts. So we should just simply add it, right? Wrong, because as we can see that the district of Mayurbhanj borders both West Bengal and Jharkhand. Similarly, Sundargarh borders both Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. Same for Malkangiri and Koraput. So we have to subtract these districts once, and that number will be 8 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5 minus 4. So it will be 14 bordering districts. Okay, 14 bordering districts. So what is the length of the border of Odisha with other states? That won't be necessary. Okay, because it's not an international border, right? So we don't need to worry about that. They won't ask you this. Okay, let's erase the page. Okay, so now we'll go into the detail of the coastline. Some very few details. We won't be seeing too much about it. Okay, again, because it's not that important. Okay, so the state of Odisha has a 480-kilometer long coastline. Okay, so the length of the coastline is 480 kilometers, and there are total 6 coastal districts. Okay, first Ganjam, then Puri, then Jagatsinghpur, Kendrapada, Bhadrak, and Baleswar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the district of Puri has the longest coastline among these 6 districts. Similarly, or maybe in a opposite way, not similarly, the Bhadrak district has the smallest coast. Okay, now your work will be to find out which is the second, third, fourth, and fifth longest coastline and arrange in order, because in exam, due to the new pattern of exams which OPSC is introduced in the last year, they are trying to follow the pattern of UPSC. Okay, so UPSC has the tendency to ask you to arrange in order. You don't have to remember what is the length of Puri's coastline or Bhadrak's or Kendrapada's, but you have to know which is the first one, the longest, then the second, the third, fourth, and so on. So your task is do the second, third, fourth, and fifth positions. You can just simply Google it and find out, and it will be correct. And you can also make out from the map itself. Okay, so let's move ahead and see the PPT if you have missed any details. Okay, so as I said, eastern part of Indian Peninsula, south to north extent 500 kilometers, west to east extent 1030 kilometers. Yes, this one, the Indian Standard Time Meridian. Okay, so we all know that there is a longitude which is 82 degree 30 minutes, that is considered as the Standard Time Meridian of India. That longitude passes through 4 districts of Odisha. So that longitude will be somewhere around here. Okay, 82 degree 30 minute east longitude, that is IST. So which are the districts? Nuapada, Nabrangpur, Koraput, and Malkangiri district. Okay, now your task is find out through which states other than Odisha the IST passes and arrange them from north to south order. Okay, that can be another question. And here, as you can see, Nuapada is the northernmost, then Nabrangpur, then Koraput, and then Malkangiri. Okay, let's move ahead. The total area 1,55,707 kilometers, total 30 districts. Then Chhattisgarh to the west and northwest, West Bengal in northeast, Jharkhand in north, Andhra Pradesh in south. Chhattisgarh longest border with 8 districts, and they are given here. Andhra Pradesh second longest, 5 districts as listed here. Jharkhand the third one, 3 districts given here. Smallest border is with West Bengal, and that's the total number of districts making borders with other states. Okay, The next detail, coastline 480 kilometers along the Bay of Bengal. 6 districts, Ganjam, Puri, Jagatsinghpur, Kendrapada, Bhadrak, Baleswar. Puri has the longest, Bhadrak has the smallest, and your homework is arrange the 6 districts in ascending or descending, whichever you like, order. Okay, let's move ahead. So the next thing that we should learn about Odisha is how the state of Odisha evolved. Okay, its evolution. But to learn about the evolution, we need to learn about the time scale which measures the time of evolution. We can't simply use hours or years to measure this, because the evolution has taken place like billions of years ago. This that they have written GA here, this will be billion years ago. Okay, so for which I'll be using BYA. Okay. So let's start with the time scale. Like I said, we can't use smaller units to measure the geological time scale. We use it to measure the normal time scale, but not for geological time scale. We can't remember each and every year like 4.54 million years ago, then 4.32239 million years ago, billion years ago. So that won't be possible to remember. Okay, so the geologists, they developed a new scale in which they created 5 new units, which are, let me change the color. Okay, the eon, the eras, the periods, epochs, and the final age, the age. Okay, so this is the largest, then this, and so on. Like second is the smallest unit that we use to measure time in normal life, not in physics, chemistry, maths, not in that sense. We use the second or minute. Okay, we don't measure millisecond, microsecond in our watches. So just like second is the smallest unit, age is the largest unit, and above that multiple ages will constitute one epoch. Similarly, multiple epochs will be one period, multiple periods will be one era, and multiple eras will form one eon. Okay, let's see from the top, that is, we'll start from the eons. Okay, so the geological history of Earth is considered to have started around 4.54 billion years ago. Okay, so the time from today to 4.54 billion years ago is divided into 4 eons, which include Hadean, Archean, Proterozoic, and Phanerozoic eons, among which Hadean is the oldest, then Archean, then Proterozoic, and the Phanerozoic eon is the eon in which we are living. So this, if you get a question, what is the present eon, then you'll write Phanerozoic eon. And then eon is divided into various eras. We will be focusing on Phanerozoic eon and its eras, not on the other 3, because going into the detail won't do much good to us, because they are so old. Like, see, this is 541 million years ago. Okay, million years ago. Before that, like, there won't be anything remaining for us to study. Okay, everything will be recycled and new things will be formed from it. So there is no need. We'll focus on Phanerozoic eon, which is divided into 3 eras. One is Cenozoic, Mesozoic, and Paleozoic. I hope you know Paleo means old, Meso means middle, and Ceno means new. And the part Zoic means visible life. Okay, so this is old visible life, this is middle visible life, and this is new visible life. Similarly, because these two are very old and we are living in this one, so we will focus on the periods that constitute this era. Okay, so Paleogene, Neogene, and Quaternary. Sometimes these two are merged to say that this is tertiary period. Okay, so if you find tertiary, you just know that it comes under Cenozoic era. Okay, older period of Cenozoic era, and Quaternary is the current period that we are living in, which is divided into 2 epochs, Pleistocene and Holocene. Holocene is the one we are living in today. So that's all we need to know. Or you can say that the ages, the Stone Age. Okay, Stone Age was there, and the modern age, okay, in which we are living in right now. Some other facts that we should know is this word, okay. As you can see that the Cambrian period is the oldest period of Phanerozoic eon. So in some places, some books, they have referred to all these three eons as Precambrian. I hope you have guessed why they are called Precambrian, because they come before the Cambrian period. Okay, so that's all we need to know about the geological time scale. Let's move ahead. So, as we learned in the first few minutes of the class, Odisha is a part of the peninsular India. It is in the eastern part, somewhere around here, Okay. So, if we study how the peninsular India evolved, we can learn how the peninsular India's part, that is Odisha, it evolved. Okay. So, there was a time. Let's see if I have the PPT here. Okay, no. Okay. So, in continental drift theory, which is taught to us in physical geography, we learn that the earth or the continents of the earth, they form a supercontinent called Pangaea about before 225 million years ago. Okay, so before this there was a supercontinent called Pangaea surrounded by a mega ocean called Panthalassa. Okay, and somewhere around 225 million years ago, that divided into two and formed Gondwana land and Laurasia. And from Gondwana land, India separated and formed, and every continent is separated from these two parts of the supercontinent and formed the current Earth we see. So right now we are going to concern ourselves with how the peninsular India moved. Okay, so as we saw, about 225 years ago, the Pangaea, it divided into two, that is Laurasia and Gondwana land, and in between these two lands formed a sea called Tethys Sea, towards the south of which we had the peninsular India. It was in way south, like around 50 degrees south or some latitude around there. Okay, and by the time of 200 billion years ago, this part started moving northwards, and around 40 to 50 billion years ago, it collided with the Eurasian plate, okay, which resulted into the creation of Himalayas, and then over a few million years ago the Himalayas were created, after which the northern plains were created, and so on, and what we see today as India was developed. Okay, so about 450 million years, 140 million years ago, India was somewhere around the 50 degrees south latitude. Okay, and it start, as we saw, around 200 billion years ago, it had started moving northwards. And while moving northwards, in around 140 billion years ago, it was near 50 degrees south latitude, and it still continued its northward journey. And somewhere around 60 million years ago, okay, the subcontinent passed through the reunion hotspot, which is still in the southern hemisphere. Okay, this caused the creation of what we know as the Deccan Traps. Okay, and around 55 million years ago, the Indian plate collided with the Eurasian plate, and slowly the Tethys Sea, which was between the Eurasian plate and Indian plate, it got squeezed and squeezed, and due to the collision of both plates, the mountains were created, gorges were created, and so on. Every landform and every feature that gets created was created. Okay, and this process is still going on. Okay, it has not stopped, and geologists, they claim that Himalaya still grows by some centimeter or millimeter every year. Okay, so this is all we need to know right now. Let's move ahead. So here is the note about what we discussed right now. Tethys Sea separated Indian plate from Asian continent till about 225 million years ago. India started northward journey about 200 million years ago, then collided with Asia about 40 to 50 million years ago. 140 million near 50 degrees south, 60 million years ago, Deccan Tract, and 55 million years ago collided with Eurasian plate. Okay.